Okay guys, here I'm going to go over a few more examples of solving these inequalities. I'm going to start with this one over here on the left. Remember, the first thing you need to do before you can split up your inequality into two equations is remove anything from the outside. We have to isolate that absolute value. So there's nothing here on the left. We have this 2 here on the right, which we have to move. So you do your inverse operations, minus 2 on both sides. So now we're left with the absolute value of k minus 8 is less than 2. So now there's nothing here on the left, nothing here on the right, and we can go ahead and split that up. So you have your positive set, k minus 8 is less than positive 2, and then your negative set, k minus 8 is greater than negative 2. Remember, you have to not only make that negative there, but flip your inequality. So from here you can go ahead and just solve. Here on the left, well, in both instances you're just going to add 8 straight across. Okay, so when we solve here, we're left with k. We didn't multiply or divide by a negative, so the inequality comes down, is less than 10. On the right hand side, our 8's canceled. We have k is now greater than positive 6. Remember, these are combined by the union, or their or. So when you graph your inequality, we have 0, 6, and 10. 6 is going to be open circle, k is greater than, so to the right. At 10, we have open circle, k is less than, so to the left. So that when you combine them, remember the union is everything in both of the graphs or both of the sets. So your solution is an open circle at 6, open circle at 10, and then they connect. Okay. On the right hand side, this fraction over here, the inequality is not isolated. You have the 2 in the denominator, which we have to get rid of. So the easiest way to get rid of a fraction is to multiply by that denominator on both sides, so times 2. We are not multiplying or dividing by a negative, so our inequality is the same, and we're left with the absolute value of n minus 4 is greater than or equal to negative 4. Nothing on the left, nothing on the right, so we can go ahead and split it up into our two equations. You have your positive side over here, so we have n minus 4 is greater than or equal to negative 4. And then we have our negative side over here. N minus 4, you have to flip that inequality and change the sign, positive 4. This becomes a positive over here because the negative and the negative make it a positive. Okay. So then we solve. Plus 4 plus 4. N is greater than or equal to 0 on the left, and n is less than or equal to 8 on the right. So when you graph your inequality, we have 0 and 8. N is greater than or equal to 0, so closed circle at 0, greater than is to the right. N is less than or equal to 8, so closed circle at 8, less than is to the left. So you take the combination of the two inequalities, close circle in both directions, and they are now combined. Okay. If you were confused over here as to why this was the positive, let me show you. Remember that when you split up your inequalities into the two, positive and negative, right? So this is the original equation. This is going to be the positive, you just rewrite it. And when you do the negative, remember you have the negative absolute value on both sides. So you have to divide by that negative 1 here, negative 1 here, so that you get the absolute value of n minus 4. When you divide by a negative, that inequality is going to change directions, is less than or equal to positive 4. And then you can split that up. If you have any questions, let me know tomorrow in class, and I can go over it. In this example, we have a couple more things going on here with the inequality. We have something on both the left and the right, but we're still going to follow the same steps to follow it, or to solve it. So think about it as if you had the inequality negative 4x minus 1 is greater than or equal to negative 5. If you were going to solve this inequality, you know you'd need to move this 1 over first and then divide by that negative 4. We're doing the exact same process here. We're going to isolate this absolute value here, and we're going to treat it like its own variable. So we're going to go ahead and move that 1 over, plus 1 on both sides. We're not multiplying or dividing by a negative, so our inequality is going to stay the same. Minus 4. And here we're going to divide by that negative 4. Now this should be a red flag, okay? Whenever you're dividing or multiplying by a negative, your inequality is going to change. So make sure that you change that right away so you don't forget about it. So we're left with the absolute value of 7m minus 8 is less than or equal to positive 1. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay, so there's nothing on the left, nothing on the right, and we can split it up into our two inequalities. We have our positive, which is 7m minus 8 is less than or equal to 1. Our negative side, 7m minus 8. Flip that inequality is greater than or equal to negative 1, and then we solve. So here on the left, plus 8, our inequality stays the same. 7m is less than or equal to 9. Divide by 7 on each side. M is less than or equal to 9 over 7. Okay, or, remember these are joined by or, the intersection. If we solve the one over here on the right, plus 8, 7m is greater than or equal to 7. Divide by 7 on both sides. M is greater than or equal to positive 1. Okay, so these are joined by the intersection. So now that we have our two solutions, we can go ahead and plot them on the number line. We have m is less than or equal to 9 over 7, and if you want to approximate that so that you know where on the number line it is, you can. It's approximately 1.29, and then the other one is m is greater than or equal to positive 1. So we have positive 1 on the number line and then 2 on the number line. M is greater than or equal to positive 1. Close circle at 1, greater than to the right. M is less than 9 over 7. Close circle at 9 over 7. And if you wanted to, guys, you could do this. And less than is to the left. These are going in the same direction, so your solution is going to be the combination of those two graphs. Close circle at both ends and the line connecting in between the middle. That is it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know tomorrow in class. I'll go over another example. Be ready for the quiz and finish up the Quest 2.3 homework.